29th of June 2015. We're here in Trench 9 at the start of week 4 with the Bradford Kaims for 2015. We've had a bit of progress here in Trench 9 in the last week. It's mainly been down this bottom end, or bottom side I should say, of the trench. Last week, about midweek, we finally had the burnt mountain completely off, and we spent some time determining which contexts were laying where underneath it and their relationship between each other. That has been established now after we did a bit of cleaning up just down at this bottom end here. We did a section drawing along this section here, which slightly changed our context boundaries from the section we drew there last year, and it was a good refresher as well just to remember what our layers were and where they were sitting in the stratigraphic sequence. We've taken 2 of those off just this morning actually. We've determined that they were just leftover layers from last year, 9004 and 9007. They were only small spreads, so it was okay to miss them I think late last season. We're now in the process of removing 9009 completely off the bottom end of this trench, both on this side of the section and later on that side of the section around our stakeholder group there. So for the rest of the week the intention is to do that. If we can get it done before Sunday, we will start to re-excavate our stake holes. We've come up with a bit of a sampling strategy for those. Instead of excavating every single one and taking the sample for every single one, we thought we'd take like I can't think of the word right now. Representative sample, sorry. And so we'll take maybe 2 or 3 stake holes from each one, but we will try and excavate most of the post holes, or that we think are post holes, because we feel they may have more value to the record than more stake holes. We will start to attempt, if we have time and based on numbers, we will try to reopen our northern section from last season where we came down onto the really damp peat and wood. We're hoping that what we find there, we're hoping that when we reveal that, it then matches up with what is over in Trench 11 just behind you. As they're starting to find wood, it would be a good idea to have our wooded area open at the same time so we can make some comparisons, because it should roughly be at the same sort of depth. By the end of the week, both trenches should be sort of at the same depth. Apart from that, everything seems to be going quite well. Our stake holes are finally all numbered and labelled, so we shouldn't lose any more of them. The context register has been changed as we've voided stake holes. We decided we're going to reuse some of the numbers from last year rather than just void that number completely. They've all been clearly labelled, so we shouldn't have any problems in future seasons if someone needs to come back and look for stake holes, hopefully. But other than that, that's our aim for the rest of the week.
What's Miranda doing?
At the moment, one of our students, Miranda, who's taking off 9009 down in this western side of the trench. She's coming down onto 9058, which is straight under my feet, and slightly over onto that section, just below sort of this really white baked layer, which we believe is the continuation of 9003, which was our main context revealed on that side of the trench last year. Later in the season we do intend to come back to this area. There is a few stake holes to look at, but this is mainly where our flint working area has been, and the intention is to re-look at those and our possible Mesolithic layer at the far end of the trench.